Hey, y'all. Welcome to the first official podcast interview for Rich Mama's Club, y'all. Look, all of this might not be permanent. I might change all of how this might look as we go through. I'm Brittany Raji Alberti. I'm the founder of Rich Mama's Club, which is a social, emotional wellness initiative for moms who need community, who need to have someone that they can really lean in and lean, like not only lean in and lean on, but they can have someone that can support them. I have a community full of women who are the go-to, and I create a space where they can take off their supermom capes and they can just be vulnerable, realistic, and just celebrate community and motherhood together. So if you're looking for a community, I highly recommend Rich Mama's Club. I'll let you know more about the membership options as we kind of go through this podcast interview. But I'm so excited because this first interview, one, I have admired this guest from afar. I love her content online. I've actually used her service. She has a service-based business where she's going to tell you guys about. I've used her services when I've traveled, just because it's kind of hard to cook and have all the things together. But I'm just so excited to be able to have transparent, vulnerable conversations with women who have gone through some things in life. So help me welcome Miss Victoria from Victoria's Foods. Hey, Victoria.
Hey, how you
Thank you so
doing?
much for being our first guest, girl.
No problem at all. I'm so happy to be here.
Same. I'm so happy to have you. Look. Frame worked out. Oh,
We
well.
zoomed in.
It worked out well. So I only know what I know about you. One, that I feel like you are a fitness influencer. You might not, see yourself as that, but I see you as a fitness influencer. I know you are a chef, like you make meals. But tell us, how did you get to this point? Like, pretend like the camera isn't rolling at all. Like, if someone was asking you, like, who you are and what you do, like, what would you tell them?
Well, my name is Victoria McCoy. And all this has gotten started from a health condition that I have. I have an autoimmune disease called lupus, and I went through hell and back with dealing with this disease. I suffer from heart attacks, kidney failure. I was on a walker for 6 months because of so much like inflammation in the body. Lupus is very painful. So sometimes it hurts to walk and it hurts to do just simple things that you would normally do. So as I was seeing my kidney specialist, she was like, "You need to change up your diet. You're at the time I was 22. She was like, "You're 22 years old with the body of a 75-year-old. Like, you need to really get it together." And I'm just like, okay, like I just didn't really know what to do. And I was also pregnant with my son at the time, and the pregnancy wasn't a good experience just with me having all these flare ups. My body wasn't strong enough to carry a child. So, long story short, I ended up having my son and he was healthy, but I was still having a lot of health concerns. And I always give honor to God because he healed my body. Like, there's no way I can like take him out of that picture. But he gave me very specific instructions. He was like, "You do what you can, and I'll do what you can't."
Wow.
And what I knew I could do was change my diet and the way I lived my life. So I decided to cut out processed foods for a period of time. And I started working out, like simple work. I was like trying to walk today, go up the steps today, like something simple. So I cut out processed food for about 6 months altogether. And my health did a total 180. Like, I went from 11 different medications to two. I'm on two
Mm.
now. And I was meal prepping for myself during that time just so I can not have those weak moments where I'm out and about and I want to go get some McDonald's or whatever the case is. I had meals already planned for myself, so I just grabbed one of those healthy meals and I started eating. And I went to a doctor's visit like 6 months later, and he was like, "Your blood work is almost normal. Like, what is going on? Whatever you're doing, keep on doing it." And I was just like, all right, and people started seeing pictures online about me meal prepping, and everyone was like, "Hey, you think you can meal prep for me?" And it literally, I fell into this business. I did it to recover my health issues, and now I'm kind of spreading that truth across the world on how you can reverse some illnesses with some proper diet or just live a healthier lifestyle with a nutritious diet.
Wow. I just gotta take a moment. One, you were pregnant when you found out. So did you know you had lupus before you had?
So I found out I had lupus when I was 19. but I wasn't really on top of it. You know, being a 19-year-old, you fresh out of high school, you trying to live your life. So I had like a flare up, and I was actually in the hospital for about a month, and they were taking all these tests, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew I kept getting sick, like fevers and all this other stuff. So when I got discharged, they gave me all this medicine. I'm just like, I don't think I really got lupus. I think they just trying to project because, you know, they kind of narrowed it down like, okay, she's a African American between the ages of 18 and 35. It's lupus. And
Wow.
that it just didn't resonate with me. I don't know if I was in like just delusional or just in denial. But I just didn't really take care of my health from when I found out. And I was married at the time when I had my son. But just from then to 19 to like 22, I'm just, you know, just living my life and like normal. I didn't really take it seriously because I'm just outside, you know. So when I did get pregnant with my son, it just magnified the flare ups. And
Mm,
so yeah, that's what I was going through during that time.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So you talked about having heart attack. Like I know I read this. So I read on one of your posts that you were having heart attacks, and you posted your before picture where you were a little bit fluffier, right?
Yeah.
How long was it from? You said 6 months later where your blood got regulated. Let me even before we go there, because I want other moms. There might be other women, because I know that lupus is common amongst Black women.
Mhm.
And some people like get diagnosed like later in life too. So you kind of caught yours early, because I know some women who are like learning they have lupus in 40s. Now,
Yeah.
what was that like transitioning? Like your young mom, you're learning about this autoimmune disease and trying to make a lifestyle change. And I have a toddler now, and she wants chicken nuggets, and I
Yes.
don't fight her anymore. So what was that experience like learning to be a mom, learning to take care of yourself, and dealing with this, autoimmune disease?
Support system was key at that time. My ex-husband, he was very supportive. And you have to have like a self-talk with yourself and be like, I have this son now, I'm married, I got this life that I want to live. I have to love my life more than this cheeseburger. Like it gets
Mm,
real like that. And we don't think, since food don't have a straightforward impact on your health like that, but over time it will. So it's just like I had to love myself more than the fast food. I had to plan for the future that I wanted. So having the support of my then husband, and I actually moved my mother in my house at the
mm,
time so she can help me just even managing my son, because my ex, he was working a lot. I'm at home with the baby, but I'm having my lupus flares. And so she was a huge help in this process. And she has lupus as well. Hers is
wow.
not as aggressive as mine, but she understood the aches and pains that I will have. So, you know, she'll let me get some sleep while she take care of the baby. And I really had to just really get my mind mentally ready, because I feel like weight loss of any type of change is a mental game. And you try to feel like, okay, am I in this state? Why am I gaining weight like this? Or why do I have this relationship with food like this? But once I decided, like, hey, me living a long life, being here for my son and my family is more important than anything in the world. And I want to have a better quality of life. So I started off small. Like, instead of me having, like, for example, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I used to sit down and have two peanut butter and jelly sandwiches easy. You know what I'm saying? I went just cut down to one. And then after that, it was like, okay, let me try organic peanut butter and regular jelly. And I tried it like that. And then I liked that. And then I cut down to whole grain bread. And I took baby steps with trying to
Mm,
make food healthy. So it wasn't like cold turkey. Like, this was a journey. And I just wanted to find healthy alternatives instead of pork bacon, turkey bacon. I tried the egg whites, and I tried this. You know, I'm just trying to convert all my bad food into healthier options. And it took some time for me to get to where I am now. But when I started making my own meals and knowing what I put in it, even if it was not so healthy, it was healthier than going to McDonald's, or it was healthier than going to somewhere else. So the fact that I made my own food has changed a lot. And just making those minor changes of trying to make it healthy really helped me throughout the process, finding alternative chips. And, you know, I love the chips and the snacks and all that. But so yeah, the support of my family encouraging me, and them kind of staying on something like, hey, you need to do this. And, you know, once I did it for about a month, I had it and I was gone with it. And
Mm.
even during that time, I lost 50 pounds in those 6 months just from cutting out processed food.
Wow. Okay. So I'm in my struggle. So I'm just gonna be like if y'all watching right now, just know I'm being selfish right now and I'm picking her brain because I'm at my heaviest. I have had some health complications over the last year, like with my anxiety so much where I was like going back and forth to the hospital, thinking I was having a heart attack and I'm just really just anxious. And I noticed that certain foods would trigger my anxiety more, like
Mm,
alcohol and caffeine.
yeah, yeah.
um, I really love that you mentioned baby steps. Okay, I have a toddler. I don't have as much support. So my mama, she ain't coming to move in. She love me. She's like, she ain't coming to move in. We ain't got that. Somebody who doesn't have as much support that maybe you have, what suggestions would you have for
Far as taking baby steps with the food or just so I would what the Bible say, write the vision, make it plain, and I
them?
will write down the life that I want. I'm really good at self-reflection. And I had grab a sheet of paper and I have 3 columns. And I'm like, what's going good? What's not so good? What's going bad? Or, the middle ground.
Mm,
So I write all the good things that's going on, all the things that are so-so, and all the things that are bad. And I try to like see how I can make these bad things good or if I should eliminate them altogether. But I take a scope of what I want my life to look like and I write that stuff down. Like, I want to be healthy. This is my goal weight for the next month, 3 months, 6 months. And I take those baby steps and I write a plan for each one. Like, what do I need to do to get here? And I really work my way back. Like, when you set a goal, you kind of work backwards. So this is the end goal. What are the steps to get to that goal? So that's kind of what I did. I wrote what I wanted and I wrote out a plan and I go online. YouTube was my best friend at the time. I couldn't afford no trainer.
yeah.
I'm a trainer now, but I'm like, once you do it long enough, you gain a lot of knowledge. So I'm on YouTube doing workouts and, hit cardio and even when I did go to the gym, I'm like, I'm just getting on the treadmill today because I didn't know how to work out. I knew how to walk though. So
Yeah.
I just walk and I walked 20 pounds off that first month,
Mm,
just from
mm.
walking. Then I'm like, okay, let me try to lift some weight and let me go online. But be curious, have a mind of a child and really ask questions. And, we have the world at our fingertips with these phones.
That's real.
So
That's
I'm
real.
like, go online, go on YouTube, and they will tell you a lot. I found a mom influencer who was on her health journey, and I just follow what she did. I was checking in and seeing how she was living her life, and I did the same thing. Like, writing down my goals does a lot for me. Just seeing it visually and being able to check off stuff, it does something to your mental, and it encouraged me to keep going. And seeing that weight come off is also encouragement. Like, it did not take long for that 20 pounds to come off, that first 20 pounds.
Hmm.
So that encouraged me to want to keep going and seeing my clothes fit. And when you start seeing the results, that encouraged you to go further.
Yeah. I had what was this? 2015. I was married before, so my first marriage. I had lost 80 pounds and I did like a total lifestyle change. And this is something that I'm really passionate about now, like in my work, knowing that our built environment, like our environment itself, has a lot to do with our health choices. So like now with me moving back to St. Louis, moving back into North County and being in some food deserts, some places, and not having as many healthy options, which definitely comes down to discipline. Let me not take that out. But it was much easier for me to sustain the lifestyle that I had before living in West County because I got Trader Joe's and Whole
Right.
Foods and all these other things. So what's well, let me say this. How do you support people in their journeys?
Far as the meal prep, I mean, when people reach out about meal prep or fitness, I do have an ebook called Victory Over Lupus, and it's not for people who have lupus. It's for anybody that is just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, and it's really a preventative care book. So when people reach out, I suggest that they buy the book. But I give them just free information, like, hey, what are you struggling with? Just trying to get the understanding of what they're dealing with and how they want to move forward. And a lot of times I say it starts with them. It starts with, and a lot of times when people do reach out, they're not ready. And that's
Mm,
okay. But we got to be real with ourselves that
yeah,
we're not ready. And but I give them the information that they need to get started. I say, hey, just try eating whole food. And whole food is nothing that is processed. So that's like eating rice or eating chicken breast instead of chicken nuggets, not like a twisted version of food. Eat the whole food as it came off the tree. You know what I'm saying? I
Look,
encourage
you see
people
my
to
face? No, look, I can do smoothies. I can do my smoothies all day, right? So, okay,
yeah.
whole food. So, whole grain rice. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I say like brown rice, raw
Yeah.
rice. I just say eat whole food as far as what's the best way I can describe it? Um, you know how we have fruit snacks,
Yeah.
and fruit snacks mimic fruits.
Yeah.
Instead of eating fruit snacks, just eat a real piece of fruit. Instead of eating chicken nuggets, eat a real piece of chicken. Eat it in its whole state, not in its processed state, if
Got
that
it.
makes sense. So, eating exactly how it is. When you go to the produce aisle, grab your apples, strawberries, oranges, whatever. Get your green beans, your broccoli, your celery. Get your chicken breast. Get your, ground turkey or whatever. Like, eat it whole. Don't eat it processed. Don't have it in a patty form. I mean, unless it's a chicken breast sandwich. But I try to encourage people to learn what whole food is, because
Mm.
that will cut out a lot of the bad food that we eat on a regular, because we eat what's convenient. And I always say, if it's on the shelf, if it has a shelf life, that means it's gonna stay in your body for a long time. That means it's processed.
Mm.
Fresh fruit don't stay lively long. It's like 3 days, like 3, 4 days, and it's bad. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So we
done.
want to lean more towards the healthy stuff and get away from shelf food items.
I'm here for that. What's something that you feel like you learned in your motherhood journey that you caught but it wasn't taught, if that makes sense? Like something your mama didn't tell you didn't see anywhere else. Because how old is your son now?
He's 12 now.
You have a 12-year-old, almost a teenager. What's
Yeah.
something that you learned in the journey that you just want?
Um, I would say, and I'm a Christian woman, so a lot of the stuff I say is,
You're fine.
uh,
I'm Christian too. And here, and if y'all watching this, everybody's welcome to watching it. But like,
yeah,
what grounds you, you don't
right.
have to disclaimer. Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, so being my son's mother has really taught me how to trust God. My son relies on me for everything, and it's not like a burden. It gives him a sense of peace that he know he can come to me for anything, and he
Yeah.
know he go get it. He knows my mama got it. My mama go handle it. If I got a problem, I go to my mama. And it helped me develop my relationship with God. Like, if I got a problem, I don't need to carry that weight. I could just go to my father and ask
Mm.
for these helps and these issues, that I'm dealing with. So I would say what I'm learning. My dad passed when I was very young, and she was a mother of three. And the older I get, the more I appreciate what she went through, because I only got one. And I'm like, I can
Yeah.
only imagine going through this with three. And she really hustled, make sure we were level headed and grounded, and we had a relationship with God no matter what. Um, so it wasn't that she didn't teach, because I learned through observation. Me and
Yeah.
my mom, we're close, but we don't talk a lot. I observe a lot. And it's one of those things where, you know, she just say, keep on living and you'll see, you know what I'm saying? And she's always there if I need her. But some stuff can't be taught all the time. Some
Yeah.
stuff just has to be experienced, especially with the generation of these kids today. So
Yeah.
she can't necessarily teach me how to parent a kid like my son, because it was a different generation back then.
That's
But what she has taught me was be a praying mama, pray over your kids, because that will change the trajectory of their life, like keeping us covered. And that was super, super important that I've learned from her. But everything else I'm really learning just from experiencing. And I'd be like, you went through this with us, mom? She was like, yeah, some stuff, but she was like,
mm.
this generation different. Y'all was good kids. She was just like, these kids are a little different. But no, I think it wasn't that she didn't really, miss out on anything. It's just stuff I just had to experience on my own.
I'm so sorry. My allergies are acting up.
No, it's totally fine. But yeah, so that was pretty much, like I said, it wasn't like a lack of what she didn't teach me, but it's just experience you have to go through on your
The
own.
experience you had to go through. Now you have a son. What's something that maybe a girl mom wouldn't experience? You got to give us some gems. You got almost a teenager. You've been a mom for a minute.
Right. I would say I'm going through it now as far as I'm I guess I'm a mom's mom. Like I like raising babies. So now that he's this preteen, I still have that your mommy's baby, you mommy's baby boy. You know what I'm saying? And I have to change up my tone because this is not helping him for his future. And unfortunately his dad is not in town. He travels a lot. So he's with me full time. And I'm a firm believer in men raising men. But so I'm doing the best that I can, and I make sure I have a community for him. I have a great big brother, and he really helps and steps in to take care of him as well and have that man time. But I would say being able to deal with the emotion of them getting older and really kind of killing the norms that we had growing up, like, oh, don't be soft, you can't cry, da 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 da. Like showing emotion is very important. And I think that's what's wrong with some of our men today. They wasn't able and at liberty to show emotion and stuff like that. So transitioning and trying to grow as he grow, because I gotta grow as a parent. I have to change as a parent as he grows and teach him how to be a man. And I have to like censor myself and not baby him as much and,
Mm.
stuff like that. So that's a change for me because I will spoil that boy, but now I got to learn how to say no. Just because I can don't mean I got to say yes. He needs to get used to hearing no. You know what I'm saying? So he don't go into this world feeling entitled and know that he has to work for what he wants. So he has that entrepreneur spirit in him as well. So he learns how to work for what he wants. But but yeah, I'll just say grow as they grow, like mature as they mature. You can't have that same mindset that they're little kids when they're about to be a teenager. My son almost bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be picturing his cheeks still, but
Mhm.
I'm growing as he grows and trying to develop that tough skin for myself as being a tougher mom and also show love at the same time.
Would you suggest now? So I work with a lot of moms who are entrepreneurs, obviously, and you have a business. Do you still work a 9 to 5 too?
So this is what I do with meal prep being the way that it is. It booms like the first half of the year because of New Year's resolution.
Right.
So towards the fall, I either Uber, usually I Uber because I can pick up that whenever I want to.
Hmm.
And I also run a business at the same time. This year, I decided to be a sub. I actually do have a teaching degree and I went to school to be a teacher. So I picked that up thinking the business is going to be slow and it ain't. The business been staying
Wow.
consistent, which I'm thankful for. But I always find a little side job in the off seasons to supplement the income. So I'm full time entrepreneur, part time 9 to 5er.
Love that. So I love that. Okay, this is great because a lot of people like they have stigmatized people who go back to work or supplement income, but in entrepreneurship it is ups and downs and you got a family. Like if it was
Yes.
just you could get it out the mud and you could make something happen, right? But I
Yes.
love the fact like my husband just started subbing too because one of our businesses took a tank last year with the Toro. We rent out our vehicles and the industry just took a turn and you clearly couldn't see it, so we had to supplement that. For someone who maybe they left in the pandemic or maybe they started their business in the pandemic, what words of wisdom would you have for people with like when it comes to managing business, balancing being a mom, or even just cash flow?
Yeah. I say take care of you. Don't get caught up in what society and social media. I take social media breaks where I will take a month offline and really focus in on what's important in my life because the way social media is set up make you feel like you ain't nothing, you ain't out here really getting it. Do what you got to do to take care of your family. And if that's working 2 jobs right now and that's what you got to do, especially with the economy being as high as it is, the inflation is being wild,
Man,
you it feel like you have to have 2 jobs if you're a single individual. You'd have to have a partner, roommate, something. You need to have at least two incomes coming in just to do the bare minimum, it seems like.
yeah,
But don't be afraid to take care of your situation, your family. I had to go through a grieving process because I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 3 years. This is my first time kind of getting back into the school industry, but I had to grieve that process of because I felt like I was a failure, even though I know I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like I really wanted to succeed on this on my own, just be in my entrepreneur spirit. And I'm like, it's not about that. Like, because if my son fails or if I fail, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. And it's just like nobody cares that I'm a full-time entrepreneur. Like when you really think about that, I had a customer, he reached out, I was like, hey, you still meal prepping? And in my head, I'm offended, like, of course I'm still meal prepping. Like, of course, this is what I do, but he don't know and he don't care. You know what I'm saying? So people just ask, like, hey, like, you still meal prep? And I'm like, it's having that realization where people ask, like, do you still do that? Make it put things in perspective for me. Like, people don't care if I still meal prep or not. If I got a 9 to 5, they be like, oh, okay, that's cool. So I had to get out my own way and be like, it's okay to work 2 jobs. It's okay to have a 9 to 5, or hey, this didn't work out this season. I got to pivot this way and circle back around, but don't get caught up in what social media is putting out there. Take care of your family. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's most important. And you got to do what you got to do to make sure y'all straight.
That's it. That's it. I definitely think we have become a very egocentric like society, especially us millennials, because we see the people who are the travel bloggers and all of the big time entrepreneurs who are rolling around in all these luxury cars. And when it doesn't happen for us that way, sometimes it can feel like you're a failure. Like I definitely have had some. I'm like, dang, hold on, you've been at this for 9 years. We not buying a house yet. Like, and I started comparing myself to people, but I'm like, your walk and their walk are two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you don't know if this is their day 50 or if they're day 5. So
Right.
you can't compare yourself.
And
Um,
sometimes it could be a facade. It could be a facade too. And people so good at faking it right now. Like they renting cars and renting their friend's spot, and they really at an Airbnb and not their house. So it's like you
yeah,
really don't know what's going on behind the scenes with a lot of these influencers.
I agree. I agree. Influencers, even your cousins and everybody, like, look, all them Louis bags not real, y'all. Let me just say
Right.
that. It ain't real. But it's really refreshing to hear other people like one, like we are going through life. Like inflation is really high. And you are in a business where like inflation has hit your business a lot with food costs. How
Yes.
have you navigated that with being a meal prep company and like the fluctuating costs? Like I remember at one point, like eggs was like what, like $5 or $6
Girl.
a gallon.
Yes.
Yeah, like how has
Yes.
that been? What's something you've done to like navigate that
I
curve?
mean, some stuff like I had to go up as the industry went up. Like I had to go up on my prices because originally when I started this business, I was home of the $10 meals. My meals are not $10 no more. So I had to kind of go up and really research other meal prep companies and see what they were doing. And I couldn't compare myself to a HelloFresh. They a multi-million-dollar company with, all these resources, and it's just me.
Yeah,
And I had to be real with what I had. I don't have enough volume in business to get a order from Cisco. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
can't get a big food truck order, so I have to go to the grocery store like everybody else. So I'm paying the top price for everything, just like anybody else is. So I had to go up on my prices, just so I can make the profit margins that I needed to make, and also find other, buy in bulk, and test out Sam's and Restaurant Depot and all these big bulk stores and see where I can get discount prices at. And so far I've been doing good. And I was a little worried about going up on my prices because I'm like, nobody can afford it. But as soon as I went up, business continued to flow in. And and with the pandemic being the way that it hit, that's when I went full time. People were a lot more health conscious and they were willing to pay top dollar to get the best nutrition. So it didn't hurt my business not one bit. I just had to go up with the price as the industry went up with the price. So I mean, and my prices are still affordable.
they are. They are. I think what did I do? It's not every time I went out of town, I ordered from you. I got like the bulk meals, and you had like steak. I got steak. I got shrimp. I had something. I was like, oh, okay, look, and I think I spent like less than 150 for the week, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Like our prices might be different when y'all watching this. Don't come to her. Look, check her website first before you get that. But I really, it felt good when me having to travel for work and speaking on my husband. He takes like ownership of the home when I'm gone. And it felt good to be able to leave something, for my family, or even when it's just a crazy week. Like I needed you last, 2 weeks ago during tech week when I had like all these speaking engagements and I just didn't plan for it. But just being able to have those meals, like I could just come back home and make it or take something to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
That was super helpful. And I think that more moms, we need to normalize having help that is not like your family, if that
Yes.
makes sense. Like I had for a whole 2 years, I got my laundry done, wash,
Yes.
fold, and drop back off, and it was everything to me. We just bought a new washer and dryer, so I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna have to do this at home now because we're doing something different. But like, I always look at what's going to bring me the most support. So when I look at like a service like yours, one, I know I'm supporting a mom-owned business, and like that always matters to me, just because I'm a third-generation entrepreneur. My dad and my grandmother, they survived off of relationships, right? And that matters to me. But looking to get help that isn't traditional help, if that makes sense. It might
Right.
not be your auntie, it might not be your mom, it might not be that.
Right.
So maybe you need to just try it out. I want y'all to try it out, right? Like we don't have an affiliate situation or nothing set up, y'all. But and one, your food was good
Thank
and
you.
you delivered it. That
Yes.
was the game changer for me. Was that I didn't have to go out and go get it, right? Like she delivered it, brought it to my house. I was super happy about that. So let's get into as we're like wrapping here. Who's a good customer for you? And well, let's even say, because you have like a delivery fee. Like, what's the average order of someone like purchasing, and who's a good customer for Victoria's Foods?
So I'm gonna answer it backwards. So the good customer for Victoria's Foods, I would say the entrepreneur. I'm starting to notice that. At first, I thought it was, I mean, the food is for everybody,
Yeah.
but I noticed a lot of my customer base are entrepreneurs or busy moms or just busy individuals who don't have time to cook. And I kind of look at my business as a convenient service. And if you don't have time, or you a soccer mom and you got ballet on this day and you run a business this day, and if you could take the load off your plate of having your meals prepared, that is my ideal customer. I have been noticing I have a lot of entrepreneur customers. So that's that question. And you said the question before that, I'm sorry, what was
So
it?
like your average order. So like I know, let's say like if someone wanted to get a week worth of food, what does that look like?
So typically, there's an $85 minimum to purchase.
Mhm.
So you have to purchase at least $85 worth. And that will get you about 7 meals, depending on what it is. They all vary from chicken to steak, shrimp, stuff like that. So what typically people do, they order lunch and dinner for 5 days a week through the work week. That can be about 150, 160 for 10 meals. So it's not bad at all. I
No.
mean, when you go to Chick-fil-A, we spend about $15, $16 on one meal for the day.
Fast food has increased.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's like I remember now, y'all. I'm a convenience, and I'm trying to get my life together, so I don't need nobody judging me in the comments when y'all watch this. Judge your mama, don't judge me. Okay, look. Like, where did we go? I think we went to Taco Bell because my husband loves Taco Bell. I can't eat their beef, y'all. So look, but like it was like every time I've been going to fast food, it's at least $25.
Hmm. At
And
least
I could at least had like 2 meals from you that were
you could
healthy.
have.
You get
You
what I'm
could
saying?
have.
Or like when I bought like the bulk shrimp or something was like $25. And that was a few meals.
Right.
So when I'm just thinking about like just being realistic and planning and getting support, like I definitely I wanted to know more of like your backstory and everything. But I want other moms, especially if you are a mom in the St. Louis region. I know we have moms from everywhere. But if you're in the St. Louis region and you are busy and you need support, you're running a business and all these other things, we do have to prioritize our health.
Yes.
It's a must, right? It's something that in this season I knew I needed to shift in my business. Like, okay, I can't be running. I'm not going to be traveling until the summer. Like, I'm just taking a break.
Yeah.
I did 4 cities in 4 months. I was tripping
Wow.
with a toddler. So, and that's why like your service really came in handy for me. But we got to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, because if we don't, everything else will fall apart.
That's exactly right. I say it all the time. I say
Everything else. Like
we
I've
are the
lived that.
CEO of our lives.
Yes, I've lived that. And I know in this season, like me having these health scares and really trying to get And so I think it definitely is some mindset stuff I got to get through because I'm like, when I'm in a mood, chat, I just want comfort food and I want to be able to go to
It
TV
be
and I
like
want
that.
to sleep.
It be like that.
Man, and that's where I'm at. So it as we what's something mindset wise that you would give to a mom who's busy, she's burnt out, maybe she's running, she's just like, look, it's just easier for me to go to McDonald's, it's just easier for me to go to White House, it's just easier for me to go do this or to have the peanut butter and jelly or the uncrust, whatever that might look like. It's easy for that. What would you say to that woman to encourage her in your own words?
So I just did this in my group. I have a fitness group called Spring Into Shape. And I know, a lot of us can afford meal prep, but I just say make healthy options while you're out. We are the CEO of our own lives. And like you said, if we shut down, this whole operation shuts down. So we really have to prioritize ourselves and really understand that we are important. We are the key player. Our kids depend on us, our husbands, our business depends on us. But there are healthy options when you are out and about. At Chick-fil-A. That's one of my favorite spots for breakfast. They have a breakfast sandwich that is 300 calories. It is the grilled chicken egg white sandwich, and it's on an English muffin. It's 300 calories. It's grilled chicken. If you remove the cheese, it's 250 calories. So it's
Okay.
still a healthier option. If you go to Chipotle, lay off on the cheese and the queso, but just get the fruits and veggies and the. I'm sorry, my phone keeps ringing.
Oh no, it's okay. Okay, there you go.
So it's just make sure you make it healthier options when you are out and about. I don't know if McDonald's have any healthy options. They used to have salads. I don't know if they have that
Not anymore.
anymore.
They took them off. They don't have the grilled chicken anymore or salads. They took them
Yeah.
off the menu.
Yeah, so I would probably stay away from that, but like go to your go-tos like your Chipotle's, your Subways, your McAllister's, Panera Bread, even go to the grocery store. Like when they have those little salad bars at Schnucks and those fresher items, Whole Foods. They have a lot of hot food in their little bunker stand. So try to eat more on that side. And you actually end up cheaper than going to a fast food spot. But just try to plan for your day. If you're a fast food person, try to really project, okay, what can I eat that is a healthier option? But yeah, that's the biggest encouragement I give. And best of luck to you. Always look up. So I always say people go on my website, and if you can
Yes, no,
remake one
tell
of
us where
those
we can connect
meals,
with you. What
go
resources?
for.
You mentioned your book, The Victory Over Lupus. You mentioned a Facebook. So tell us all the things. Where can people connect with you?
Okay, so I have a website called victoriousfoods.com. It is Victorious foods.com. You can also get my ebook on the ebook tab on that website called Victory Over Lupus. You can find me on my personal page, which is Victoria McCoy on Facebook and Instagram. But I do have a fitness group because I'm trying to shed some pounds, lose fat, and build muscle. So I'm sharing my workouts. I'm sharing my meals, and it's in real time. And you see me cheating. You see me messing up and be like, okay, I need to do an extra workout session. Like, I'm very, very transparent because
I
life
be
happens to
lurking. I don't join in, but I've been lurking. I'm like, okay, y'all.
all.
I see the
Yeah.
post. Look.
Yes, I was just like, this is happening in real time. I'm not perfect at this thing. It's perfection over, it's progression over perfection. And
Mm,
we just got to make sure we are taking the right strides every day. We may fall, but we don't have to fall back and stay back. You know what I'm saying? We
that's
can
good.
fall forward, and be like, oh, I messed up. Let me keep going, but it is most definitely a lifestyle. It ain't just for 30 days. It is a way of living, and we try to progress. We either progressing or digressing. It ain't no staying the same. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you continue to progress in the right direction. But Victorious Foods on all platforms, and my personal page, Victoria McCoy on all platforms.
Love it. Thank you so much for coming in. Somebody's banging in my door right now, but Look, I'll get it in a minute. But no, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to put all of her information down here at the bottom of the link, y'all. Make sure that you connect with her. She has some amazing things coming out. And I love your content. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that. But y'all, she makes the coolest content about fitness and meal prepping and everything. So make sure that when I post the links down here, that you grab them and you go and connect with her. And, let her know it's something that you actually liked about this episode, so that you can tap in. Victoria, thank you for coming. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for just being vulnerable and sharing your journey, all of the ups and the downs, right? And I feel really inspired watching you, like on the outskirts. So I just wanted to give you your flowers publicly because I think you're amazing and you are helping people change their lives from something that happened. Like you didn't have to come forward and turn this into, a victory, if that makes sense. Like you could have just changed your life and moved on and not really like turn it into something that was purposeful. But what I admire about your story is that like, hey, like, look, okay, I might be living with this condition, but it's not all of who I am. It's not taking over me. I'm still gonna be the best mom, the best partner, all of those things. So I really enjoy seeing that about you. You have a light about you that is just beautiful. So thank you so much for coming and being my very first episode. Excited for this to air and people to connect with you, y'all. Make sure that you tap in and learn more about Victoria's Foods. And if you're interested in learning about Rich Mama's Club, just stay to the end and you'll see a quick little video. We'll see y'all later. Thank you.
Bye.